Professor Kumar is there. So we'll start off with our question and answer session.
It always happens. Bollywood takes over everything, right? I think in this country, the two most important things are there. One is Bollywood, and after that, I think it's cricket, right? So when anything happens, we have the whole thing getting changed, even though it is such a serious subject. So I think you have heard wide varieties of opinion. You have heard from one side what are the different effects. You have also heard that there are no effects. You have also heard people who are suffering from some of these cases. You also heard what are the problems people are facing. So I'm sure, as someone said, maybe you are partly confused, fully confused, I don't know. So maybe let's try to answer your question. And we have people from COI here, and we have a lot of other concerned people. I know many of them are outside, but let's still start some question answers. So you have some questions, please go ahead.
My question was to him.
Yeah. Is the mic there? Can you bring the mic?
The presentation you had said that cell phones, they really do not interfere with the navigation system, and there is actually no problem. Wasn't that one of the lines which your presentation said?
Yeah, actually there is a proposal now.
My point was that if it is really so, then why is it all the airlines, they make the passengers switch off cell phones, and they add that because they interfere with navigation system. So if what you said is right, then why all airlines all over the world are doing so?
I'll tell you what, this is work in process, but all that I wanted to convey was, it gets built up into this, what all can a cell phone do?
Yeah.
All right? There's the article by Rajiv Makhani, right?
Yes.
So what all can a cell phone do? It also says, if you lose your car keys, आप घर से कार को की दबाओ, सेल फोन के जरिए आएगा और सेल फोन कार को दरवाजे के पास रखो, खुल जाएगा. So it is in that context. What I wanted to emphasize to the people around was that there are a number of myths around the cell phone. You might need to read about it. As of now, there is work in progress, not just for cell phone usage, but for more enhanced usage of wireless technologies within the aircraft. Okay, so that's work in progress. And as far as the cell phone goes today, many people, वो अपने बैग में on करके छोड़ गए और भूल जाते हैं उसको. No aircraft has come down because of that interference. Similarly, I'd also go ahead and say, like doctors carrying cell phone into the operation theatre. They carry it. Very often I've known doctors who carry it within the operation theatre. What happens is, these are things of EMI, EMC compatibility. They call electromagnetic interference and electromagnetic compatibility issues. So until it is, fully, the work has been fully complete, they keep making those announcements. But there's a tremendous work which is going on, and no aircraft has yet come down because of it. All right?
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah. Some countries are using 8 watt per meter square transmission power. Some are using 2, some are using 1. Especially in European countries, they are using still very less.
Correct.
But why this discrepancy is there? Are they saving cost, or it is their judicious thinking that low transmission power is better?
The variety of reasons. It cannot be pulled down to either being very smart or bright, or the variety of reasons, right? And one of the reasons is that, you can afford to put that many more technical solutions there. So when the professor talked about, is there is always a cost-benefit analysis, which the doctor also mentioned. I'd love to treat a cancer patient from many types of methods of medication, right? There's a cost-benefit analysis which is there. Some countries who've got, extra thing. Just for example, lots of people say, I cited that example, that if you have a larger fiber infrastructure, then you would not need to depend as much on wireless. And many of these countries have a very high penetration of landline telephones. Their dependence on mobiles is not so much. And for India, the prescribed limit which is there, or the ICNIRP limit, which has been standardized, which is the standard that we are following, is well within the safe limits. That's what.
Okay. No, I think I would like to mention, I have already mentioned in my talk that ICNIRP guideline which we have adopted in India, that is only for short-term use. Even the ICNIRP guidelines itself say that it is for short-term use. So let's not even discuss about that bogus guideline which we have adopted for 24 hours. And anyway, I think our discussion is not really with the COAI. Our discussion is more, should be targeted towards TEC, TRAI, DOT. And if TEC, TRAI, DOT adopts better norm, all the other people have to follow. So I think the best thing I would like to suggest to the audience is that you have to contact TEC, TRAI, DOT. And COI people have already mentioned very clearly at one place that, sir, whatever norms you adopt, we will comply with it. So it's as simple as that. So I think what we need is, let's not target operators, let's not target COAI, let's not target them, because the reason is they are within the limit. So they are doing nothing. In fact, they have just mentioned also, they did bring, I'll just mention that point. They mentioned that IIT Madras professor had mentioned they are within the limit. Now remember what they said, they are within the limit. Nowhere, not even once I have mentioned that the cell tower radiation is increasing the limit, okay? Because the limit is somewhere here, they are somewhere here, so where is the question of crossing the limit? But I would like to mention, I personally wrote, because I know IIT Madras professor, I wrote to Mr. Bhaskar Ramamurthy, and very nicely, because he is now the director of IIT Madras. He actually replied to me. He says, I'm not a biological effect. I'm not talking about whether it is harmful or not. I'm only saying it is within the limit. So he has taken a total disclaimer that it is harmful or not harmful. All that, and he has been quoted wrong everywhere. And I have the written email from him. If you would like to see that, I can forward it to you, okay? But he has very specifically said that he's not talking about the limit. All he's saying is it is within the limit, okay? So please, certain things cannot be twisted. Fact remains fact.
Sir, at no stage did I say that anything is twisted. What did I say? We did it in independent study.
Correct.
Completely compliant with the laws of the land.
I'm not blaming you at all.
You're saying it's twisted or something.
No. I'm saying, I just said I'm not twisting anything. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying you are twisting. Okay, so, and see, the thing is, it's a very simple thing. See, I'll tell you, it's a very, very simple thing. We have to talk to Government of India. One should realize a very plain, simple message. We need to talk to Government of India. We have to convince Government of India that we have to adopt better norm, and that is what I have been doing for the last 1.5 years. And it's actually a very strange thing. I'll tell you, IMC report came out with these recommendations, as I mentioned. Then June it was mentioned, and I came to know that they had a meeting with the operators about a month back or so, and operators completely denied that acceptance of that. So from the operator side, they never agreed to adopt even whatever 1/10 they are saying. So they simply said, we don't want to accept that. But I think finally it has come. It is very unfortunate for the citizen of the country that the government proposed only 1/10. I would have been happy if they had adopted 0.01, and they have to comply. It is just like this. I'll tell you a very simple thing. Let's take an example of a chemical industry. I mean, they had been creating so much pollution. You would remember that all those through the chimneys, there was a lot of dark smoke, black smoke was coming out. Chemical industry didn't do anything on their own. So government had to make a rule that no, it doesn't matter. You have to do something, do some filtering so that clean air is put into the air. It is as simple. I think we are actually, it's a very nice thing. We are having a very open discussion. So you have heard different viewpoint of view. But I think